strength to do what? To do that. Therefore, Sawsaw, he said, which means Muhammad, fasting 3 days every month, and that of Ramadan every year. Hold on. So in the beginning, we have a fasting of 3 days. Then we have, first he have the fasting of Ashura. Then he tried to copy the Jews, which is supposed to be a fasting of David, but this is not the fasting of David. There's no such a thing. It's not about fasting of David. This is about the prophet Daniel, where he was in the belly of the whale or the fish, and this is the fasting of prophet Daniel. So Muhammad, he is copying from people around him and giving false information to his followers, and now he is ordering them to practice 3 days every month. And then he jumped to Ramadan. Now what is Ramadan then? Where Ramadan coming from? And then he says, look, those guys who translate here, I think they are using Google translation. It's not the day of Arafah, it's the day of Ashura. You see, those guys are stupid. Here it says the day of Arafah. I was wondering where Arafah coming from. This is the day of Ashura. All right. So it's not, it doesn't say in Arabic the day of Arafah. Let me make the hadith go up. Hold on. As you see with me, let me show you in Arabic and in English. So here it says that the one the one who fast the day of Ashura, Allah is going to forgive the year before and the year after. So here look like they are talking about Arafah here in the hadith. Here it says Arafah. I thought they are taking it off. So if you fast the day of Ashura, Allah will take the sin for a year before. In different hadith it says a day before and day after and a year after. So how important this day is, the day of Ashura, must be very important. And how Muhammad he learned that this day, if you fast it, Allah will forgive the year before sin. If he just learned from the Jews that he just asked the Jews, why you fast this day? You know what I mean? He just asked the Jews, why you fast this day? He have no idea. He never heard about this fasting before. So he come to the conclusion, he's a prophet, he's connected to Allah, he have a phone line, he can call Allah anytime, but Allah did not even say to him anything about this fasting. So he come to his own statement that if you fast this day, Allah will forgive your sin for the coming or for the past year at least, and different hadith for the coming and the past sin year. Now imagine a day, if we fast it, it's enough to forgive our sin for the past and the coming year. Why Muhammad he did abandon this day? Why Muhammad don't want to fast this day no more? Because Yawm Ashura, it's not an obligation for the Muslims to fast no more. You will see in the hadith it says that Muhammad he abandoned the fasting of Ashura and he start fasting Ramadan, and this is why he don't want to fast Ashura no more. In this hadith here, you will see what happened when he saw the Jews and he copied from the Jews that, you know what, we are more we deserve Musas more than you, and I'm going to start fasting the day of Ashura. However, I found this a clear evidence that Muhammad is taking and copying from the Sabians, not from the Jews, because the Sabians, they are the one who celebrate in a sad way. They fast, they cry. You see, the Sabians, for those who do not know the Sabians, they hate the Jews to the point they call Adonai, which is supposedly the God of the Jews, he is the devil. So the Sabians, they believe that Pharaoh, he was one of them, and he was a Sabian. So when he followed Moses, and Pharaoh and his army was destroyed in the sea, Sabians, they fast that day of sadness for the lost. So Muhammad is copying that day from the Sabian, and we are going to prove to you that he copied this day from the Sabian, and he copied Ramadan from the Sabian. Before we go there, let us see first who are they, the Sabian. You will notice the Quran in many verses mention the Sabians in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there is no need really to mention them. Who are the Sabian? And the surprise is Muhammad, he promised the Sabian to go to heaven. But if you ask any Muslim, he will say to you that the Sabians are not believing in the same God of the Muslims. Parts, however, both of them, they are pagans. They worship false gods. They worship, a part of them worship the angels or creatures made of light, and the other one, they worship gods have nothing to do with the God of Islam. So why Muhammad, he promised the Sabian to go to heaven? If we go to chapter 2 verse number 62, you will find the following. Remember, again, I'm not translating the Quran. I am just reading for you the translation made by Muslims, which I don't accept at all. Don't ever trust a Muslim translation. Actually, today I'm going to show you one of the reasons. Look what the Quran says. Those who believe in the Quran, which mean the Muslims, okay, and those who believe from you know, and the Christians, so the Jews, first of all the Muslims, and those who they are the Jewish, and those who they are the Christians, okay, sound fine, and the Sabian, and whoever believe in Allah in the last days and work righteousness, he will go to heaven. Question: why the Sabians are here? I challenge any Muslim to tell me why. We will show you from Islamic books, Islamic reference, Islamic studies, Islamic scholars that the Sabians are not Muslims, and they are not believing in the same God of the Muslims, according to them. So why the Sabian, they will go to heaven? The fact the God of the Sabian and the God of the Muslims is the same. All of them, they worship the moon god. If we go and see different verses in the Quran, I'm trying to move slow so you guys can understand what I'm saying. Let me know if there is an idea is not clear for you, and please feel free after we finish this video to download it and post it in your channel. In different verses in the Quran, chapter 5 verse number 69, it says the same. Those who they are the Christians, the Jews, and the Sabians, they are going to go to heaven. Like what? Again, why the Sabians? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. The only reason that Muhammad is promising the Sabians to go to heaven, for he was a Sabian. This is why you see in the hadith, let me see if I can find the hadith right now. I should look for it before I open our broadcast today, because this one is tough to find. But there is a story where they try to find water. I mentioned it to you before, if you remember, where Muhammad, he sent two of his men to find water, and they found a woman in their way, and they said to her, where is the water? Where do you get this water from? She said, uh, from a place here. They said to her, can you come and tell our prophet where you get it from? He said, who is your prophet, the Sabians? They said yes. So obviously there's tons of references speaking about Muhammad being a Sabian. Let's see if we can get it, because sometimes they write the same word in different way. Uh, let us see. The prophet mentioned they are idolaters, gods. So they said to him, they said, the name of your Lord, lineage for us. Tell us who is your Lord. He said, so Jibreel, peace upon him, came to him with the surah. Say he is Allah, the one of. So he mentioned similarity, but he did not say it, from Ubay ibn Abi Ka'b. Now, Ubay ibn Abi Ka'b, he have a story. Later we will mention by itself. But here in Arabic, you will see that the one who is mentioned in the hadith is a person who was from the Sabi'ah, as you see here with me. But in Arabic, in English, they don't show that. So the Sabi'ah exist around Muhammad, and they are accompany him, and they are his companions. This person, he was freed by a woman, his owner, she was a Sabian. It doesn't say there that he is a Sabian. He was freed by a Sabian woman. But why he was freed? Because the Sabian, when somebody converted the religion, they free him. Let us continue. In this hadith here, you will find the following story. When Muhammad was going from a place to a place, he was looking for water. It's a desert, so they needed water. So he sent two of his men to look for water, and then when they went, they found a woman was standing there. Let us read together. A woman was standing and watching all what they were doing with her water. By Allah, when her water bags were returned, and they look like as if they were more full than water. Okay, let's go back in the story. Hold on. Let's go back in the story. I jumped in the story. Hold on. Here we go. When they met this woman, I jumped to the end. I should not do that. So when they were looking for the water, so he ordered them to go and bring water. I hope the image is clear for you guys. So when they went search for water, they met a woman who was sitting with her camel between two bags of water. They asked, where we can find water? She replied, I was there, which means pointing her finger. I was there at the place of water this hour yesterday, and my people were behind me. She's a Bedouin woman, they don't stay in one place. Then requested her to accompany them. So she asked, where? Accompany where? Were you there? They said,